Okay, I have something that I'm going to show you guys today that I have not shown you in way too long. Okay, when I first got these tortoises, I believe I unboxed them right here on the channel. If not, I showed them right after I got them. But the Burmese Mountain Tortoises, you guys, it's about to blow your mind, actually, because even whenever I see them, I'm like, holy crap, you guys look incredible. But we're going to feed them. And I'm going to show them to you guys. I'll show you their setup a little bit, but here's their house right here. They're actually spending this winter outdoors. This is their first winter outside and they're loving it. All right, so 3 of them are actually out and about in the enclosure. It's a cooler morning here in Texas, but these guys can handle it in the 50s. They don't mind, but look at this. I don't know if the camera is going to do justice, but if you guys remember these, I'll try to find some footage whenever I first got them. I mean, they were maybe this size, right? Much, much smaller. They've been outside. We've had them inside, but they've been outside for most of that time now. Incredible. These guys are amazing. Actual dinosaurs. I've gotten to see some really cool behavior from them. I've learned some of their favorite foods. I've learned a lot about them, and they truly are like a dinosaur. They remind me of I just love their really dark coloring and the fact that, I don't know, there's just so many things about them really that make them one of the coolest tortoises on the planet, but definitely probably the coolest tortoise that I own are the Burmese Mountain Tortoises. So if you guys remember how many we have, this is 2 of them. We have 4, so there's 2 more around here, and yeah, but yeah, they're heavy. They've put on so much size since we've had them. Definitely missing summer and spring right now. I prefer foraging for the tortoises' food a lot more than buying it from the grocery store. So summer and spring, it's been such a joy to plant stuff and pick it for myself, but mostly for all the animals. It makes feeding them so much fun. So, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but here's their tortoise house, and I've turned the sides of it into little raised gardens. So we've got hibiscus in here. That's what these 4 are. So they will come back every year, grow lots of edible leaves and flowers. So that's great. And last year we planted some lettuce in this one and in those ones down there. So tortoise house and a planter all in one. So during the winter, I like to feed them inside of their house just to reinforce this position, right? Okay. And it feels nice and warm without being too hot. Let me bring you guys closer. Okay, so in this side here, we have the redfoots, which you guys are also gonna be, look how big they have gotten. Look at this thing. They're getting huge. Seriously, getting so big. So nice. They should be laying eggs next year. Look at this one. Big boy. So that one's a boy. Starting to be able to sex them now. Here's a beautiful female. She is huge. Look at this. I unboxed these on the channel a few years ago, and they were just little babies. So they've grown really well, spending their time outside, and they do fantastic. They are in their house every night. The Burmese, not so much, but these guys every single night. So, and then in here with the redfoots, we also have the elongateds. These guys were with the Burmese, but I decided to move them over here just because they're just a more similar size to the redfoots. So, but here's the Burmese, the elongateds. They're also getting quite big. We have 3 of them in here. And I know spring is around the corner where we'll be planting and foraging and doing all of that for all the tortoises. I'm ready, but for right now, they're getting a big thing of spring mix, a couple carrots, and a bell pepper. All right, and then there was 3 Burmese out there. We've got 1 chilling inside. So she gets dibs on the food. Give them that. A couple carrots as well. All right, so I went and got those 3 from their enclosure. Now we're adding them in to their warm tortoise house. All right, so there they are. Beauties. The way I'm heating these tortoise houses is we have these cane heat mats, and then I also have another heat mat right down here that they can get on top of, and another one right there actually. And then the same setup in here, we got the cane heat mats. We added those cane heat mats this winter. This is what allows us to keep them out here all winter long. So this adds quite a bit of heat in here very safely. So yeah, it's hooked right onto the wall. And then there's another heat mat down here on the ground and one up there in that corner that they can get on top of. So, and then here's their door, and we have just some clear rubber strips that we hooked on there so they can walk through it. Took a little bit of training for them to figure that out, but they go in and out now, no problem. And keeping them outdoors has just been so much better than bringing them in for several months during the winter. They definitely don't enjoy that. Tortoises are very routine. They learn their enclosure, and they don't want it to be switched around on them too often. They like it to kind of stay the same. So yeah, these guys are much slower, a lot more shy, but if you spend time with them, you learn a lot about them, and they actually have a lot of personality. They're just not going to show it to you as quickly and as easily as the redfoots. These are probably the best pet tortoise you can get. They're incredible. They're wonderful size, amazing personalities, and honestly, it's the thing I'm probably most excited about producing in the near future. We should be getting eggs anytime, maybe next year. So or maybe this year at the end of 2024. I'm really excited. So these guys, it's a long journey before I get eggs from them. That is okay, but I have seen some really cool behavior from them, some territorial behavior. There's been times where they're kind of ramming me when I'm in their enclosure. Some really cool stuff from them this past year. So I'm excited to see that develop. There's a few reasons why I like keeping the Burmese and why I'm excited about breeding them. The main one is because they lay one big clutch of eggs, and the female actually builds a mound, kind of like a tegu or like a crocodile would. They build a mound and they sit on it and defend it. And when you try to come in and collect the eggs, they'll run down the mound and try to ram you. And I just think that is the coolest tortoise behavior. You know, paternal instincts in tortoises is not that's not something you see. So I think it's really neat, and I'm excited to see that someday, you know, maybe in 10 years. So yeah, these are just some amazing tortoises. That's one of the reasons why I really like them, but there's a lot more to them. So yeah, that's what it's like owning tortoises in the winter. It's not too bad. The main thing I switch around is making sure that I feed them inside of their tortoise house. That way gets them in there, gets them knowing that that's where the magic happens. That's where good things happen. And other than that, I mean, I just have to come out at night when it's getting cool and make sure that anyone in the house is they're where they need to be. So Gulf Coast tortoise turtle enclosure, 2 nights ago, I came outside here and there was tons of baby crayfish swimming around. So I think that is really amazing. That's like, I already know the box turtles, when they wake up in the spring, that's going to provide an excellent food source for them. So there are Gulf Coast box turtles sleeping in here right now. I know that there's at least one in the water and some underground, and they're sleeping in here. They're going to sleep in here all winter long, and then they'll wake up in the spring, and it's just such a cool thing. But I saw one, yeah, right here. So you guys see those dots right there? That's actually a turtle shell. There's a turtle brumating right underneath the surface, just a little ways. Saw it there the other day and I was like thinking how cool that was. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull this right over. That's his spot. Pretty amazing. And I think there might be another one in the pond somewhere in this area, because what they will do is they'll kind of, on warmer days, they might come up closer to the surface, and then on when it gets really cold, they'll go all the way down to the bottom. And that's how they thermoregulate throughout the entire winter season, which is just so amazing. And since we're over here, before we sign out, I want to show you guys a couple things that I did just the other day. I added in these big pieces of bark from some pine tree that we got cut down. That's the same thing that, you know, I built the tortoise wall with, is from those pine trees. And then I also have this piece of rotting wood that was decaying and slabbed it down right there. That's going to promote a lot of food for the box turtle. So that's going to bring in worms and isopods and all types of stuff that the box turtles are going to love this spring. So that's kind of what I do for the box turtles in the winter, is I kind of, you know, I'm taking care of the soil, and the soil is what feeds them ultimately. And that means that when they're up and moving around, I still feed them, but not a lot, and I can just enjoy them and just focus on creating the environments that the enclosure needs. So, all right, nobody asked for that, but that's kind of what I'm doing. That's what I enjoy. It's fun. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Peace out.